Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash the like button because what I'm about to reveal could completely change the way women see you and how you see yourself. Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why, despite your experience, your confidence, and your life accomplishments, some women still don't notice you? Or maybe they notice you, but the spark never really ignites. Today, I'm going to expose truths that most men don't even realize about what women subconsciously notice first in older men, and why these things make you instantly attractive without you even trying. The first thing women see almost immediately is your presence. And I'm not talking about how you dress, though appearance does play a role. This is deeper. It's the energy you carry when you enter a room. Older men often underestimate the power of presence because they think experience equals wisdom. But presence is something else. It's magnetism. It's a quiet confidence, the kind that doesn't need to announce itself. Women notice the way you occupy space, how you move, how you listen. They pick up on whether you are comfortable in your skin or whether you are constantly seeking validation. And here's the shocking part. They can sense it before you even speak. That tension or calm, that ease or discomfort, it all communicates, silently but powerfully. And here's the thing most men don't realize. Presence isn't about being loud or dominant. It's about control over yourself, control over your emotions, your reactions, and your focus. A woman will instantly feel drawn to a man who doesn't just react to life, but who shapes it. Even if you're thinking you're just being yourself, if that self is reactive or insecure, it'll be felt before your words even land. Your aura becomes your first impression, long before eye contact, long before a smile. So many men miss this, chasing the wrong signals, thinking that flashy cars or designer clothes will make them desirable. But the truth is far simpler and far more dangerous if you ignore it. Presence is invisible, yet it commands attention. It makes women feel both safe and intrigued. It makes them wonder, without realizing it, what it would be like to step closer, to engage, to explore. And that, my friend, is the first door to attraction opening without a single word exchanged. The second thing women notice, and often before they even realize it themselves, is the way you speak and carry yourself in conversation. This isn't about clever lines, jokes, or rehearsed charm. It's far more subtle, far more primal. Women are wired to detect emotional signals, confidence, and intelligence in the way a man communicates. Every pause, every tone, every choice of words sends a signal, and older men who have lived, failed, and conquered often exude a rhythm in their speech that younger men can't fake. It's calm, deliberate, and intentional. That deliberate energy says, I know who I am and I know what I want, and women can feel it instantly. Now, here's what's fascinating and what trips most men up. They underestimate the power of silence, a pause in conversation, a slow, measured response, a deliberate question instead of an impulsive answer. These are golden. It signals depth. It signals that your mind is occupied with more than just superficiality. A woman may be talking, sharing stories or opinions, but she's unconsciously gauging your response, your emotional weight, and your ability to handle the space between words. The more comfortable you are with silence, the more magnetic you become. Another subtle factor, how you show respect without bending over backward to please. Women notice instantly if a man values his own boundaries, if he doesn't compromise his identity for approval. Older men often have this naturally. Through experience, they've learned the hard way that bending too much, accommodating too easily, kills desire. When a man shows a balanced presence, someone who listens but doesn't chase validation, that's when attraction spikes. Women feel it in their bodies first, the tension, the intrigue, the curiosity, and it's addictive. And here's the truth most men never hear. Attraction is a language, not a checklist. Women aren't reading a list of traits. They are feeling a combination of signals. Your voice, your pauses, your intentional movements, and your respect for yourself are all converging into a single message. I am a man who knows himself. I am rare. I am worth your attention. That's why younger men who try to mimic confidence through money, status, or bravado fail, because it's not the external markers that trigger desire, it's the internal mastery that leaks outward in every word, every gesture, every measured breath. When you begin to speak with intention, to carry your words with weight, women start noticing patterns they can't explain. They may find themselves thinking, he's different, there's something about him. And that, my friend, is how subtle, psychologically powerful communication begins turning attention into fascination before you've even made a move. The third thing women notice in older men, and the one that often separates a man who intrigues from a man who's simply safe, is the way he handles himself under pressure. This is not about dramatic heroism or saving the day. It's about emotional resilience, the quiet confidence that comes from having faced life's challenges and survived. Women unconsciously scan for this in the subtle ways a man responds to stress, disappointment, or uncertainty. How you react in small moments, waiting in line, handling a minor inconvenience, responding to an unexpected comment, speaks louder than any words you could craft. Here's the critical truth most men miss. Women don't just want someone strong, they want someone steady, someone who doesn't crumble, someone who doesn't panic over minor issues, someone who doesn't lash out unnecessarily. That steadiness is magnetic because it signals security, not just financial or physical, but emotional. And that security triggers attraction on a level most men never realize. It's almost instinctual. When a woman senses a man can carry his own weight emotionally and mentally, she sees a partner who can protect, who can support, who can maintain calm even when chaos threatens. But notice I said subtle. It's not about bragging or proving yourself. Older men often attract attention not because they dominate or control, but because they remain composed when others don't. There's power in that restraint. There's a lure in the unshakable calm that says, I've lived, I've failed, I've learned, and I am unshaken by trivial storms. Women pick up on this immediately. They may describe it as maturity, but it's really an energy that communicates experience, reliability, and depth, all without a single boast. Another layer to this, older men who exude resilience often have boundaries that are non-negotiable. They don't overcommit. They don't over-explain. They don't apologize for existing. And here's where attraction intensifies, because women sense that this man values himself, his time, and his energy. That creates a sense of challenge, of mystery, of desire. You see, women are wired to notice when a man has internal gravity, the ability to stay grounded no matter the external chaos. It's primal, it's compelling, and it makes them want to lean in, not push away. This combination, presence, deliberate communication, and emotional resilience, is a psychological trifecta. Women notice it instinctively, often before they know why. And for older men who understand this dynamic, it's almost unfair. The attraction is immediate, natural, and deeply magnetic. Once you internalize these truths, your interactions shift. You stop trying to be liked and start being magnetic. And that, my friend, changes everything. There's one factor most men overlook, but it's critical in why women notice older men first: the way you make them feel without saying a word. Women are hardwired to sense emotional energy, and older men who have mastered themselves radiate calm, confidence, and subtle warmth. It's not about grand gestures, expensive gifts, or over-the-top compliments. It's the way your presence makes them feel safe, yet intrigued at the same time. They notice the sense of security you naturally project, and it triggers a deep, almost instinctual attraction that younger, reactive men simply can't replicate. Here's the reality most men never get. Women are drawn to energy more than appearance. Your posture, your breathing, your level of engagement, they all communicate a story about who you are before you even speak. An older man who is grounded, who doesn't overreact, who responds instead of reacting, conveys emotional mastery that women notice instantly. That mastery tells them, consciously or unconsciously, that this man can handle life, relationships, and himself, and that creates desire on a level that words alone could never reach. Another subtle truth: women notice when a man has passions that aren't dependent on their approval. A man who has hobbies, interests, and a life of purpose exudes autonomy, and that independence is magnetic. It signals that he isn't needy, desperate, or searching for validation. He's whole, and when a woman senses that completeness, it sparks a primal attraction. They are drawn not just to the man in front of them, but to the life he has built and the energy he carries. It's the combination of security, depth, and independence that creates fascination. And here's where most men falter. They think they have to impress, to compete, or to perform. But women, notice the opposite. They are drawn to men who don't need to prove anything, men who are comfortable in their skin, men who understand their value without over-explaining it. That subtle, confident energy triggers curiosity, desire, and even admiration before a single word is exchanged. When you understand this, attraction shifts from something you chase to something that naturally unfolds. Women notice older men first because of presence, deliberate communication, emotional resilience, a reconciled past, and the way they radiate energy that's both safe and intriguing. Each of these layers builds on the other, creating a psychological signature that's impossible to ignore. This isn't manipulation, it's mastery. And the truth is, once you embody it, women won't just notice you, they'll be drawn to you in ways that feel effortless and almost inevitable. By now, you've begun to understand the invisible forces that make older men magnetic. Presence, deliberate communication, emotional resilience, a reconciled past, and the energy that makes women feel both safe and intrigued. But here's the truth that most men never hear. Attraction isn't about luck, timing, or looks. It's about mastery of yourself. Women notice first what you radiate before you ever speak. And what you radiate is a combination of every choice, every habit, and every subtle signal you've cultivated over years of living consciously. Think about it. When a woman locks eyes with an older man, she's subconsciously scanning for security, intelligence, stability, and emotional depth. She feels the weight of your experiences, the calm in your reactions, the quiet authority in your movements, and the confidence in your voice. And when all of these elements align, attraction ignites almost instantaneously. She doesn't just see you, she senses you in a way that bypasses reason and goes straight to instinct. That's why younger men often fail. They lack the lived experience and the internal mastery that projects this magnetic signal naturally. Here's the harsh truth most men avoid. If you haven't done the inner work, if you haven't faced your failures, managed your emotions, and cultivated presence, women will notice the gaps. They will feel uncertainty, instability, or desperation, even if your exterior looks polished. But when you invest in yourself emotionally, mentally, and psychologically, you create an aura that's irresistible. And it's not about tricking anyone, it's about becoming the man who naturally embodies qualities women can't help but be drawn to. And here's the final insight. The most powerful attraction isn't in grand gestures or clever lines. It's in subtle mastery. It's in knowing yourself, commanding your energy, speaking deliberately, holding boundaries, and radiating calm authority. It's in having a life worth living independently of validation. Older men who embrace this understand something younger men often never grasp. Desire is generated by presence, authenticity, and the magnetic pull of a well-lived life. So, if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. Women notice first what they feel, and what they feel is a man who has mastered himself. The older you get, the more this truth compounds. Your experience, your energy, and your deliberate mastery over life are invisible signals that women detect instantly, and they find it irresistible. When you understand and embody this, attraction stops being a mystery. It becomes natural, inevitable, and powerful. Remember to like and subscribe if this video shifted your perspective, because the truth about female psychology and attraction is far deeper than most men realize. And I'll continue revealing these insights for those ready to step into mastery. If you want, I can also